Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Live Ones. I am Big Matt, your capper extraordinaire. The big story today, college football week 2 has come and gone, and man, let's just tally up the upsets. We had FCS team Idaho upset Wyoming. You know, the Wyoming program has fallen on hard times as of late, but that's still a pretty embarrassing loss. The Kansas Jayhawks went on the road and dashed all hopes that this would be a year they'd contend for the Big 12 title and lost to Illinois in a game they had about a half dozen solid chances to win and just didn't capitalize on. Iowa State won a thriller of a Cy-Hawk Trophy game against number 19 Iowa. That offensive explosion we saw from Cade McNamara last week may have been an illusion. They decided to run the ball just shy of 70% of the time. Still got the over the team total on that one, so that was a winning play for us. Cal went across the country to Auburn and absolutely stunned the Tigers. That loss alone is going to start making Hugh Freeze's seat a little hot. But the stunner to end all stunners, at least in terms of preseason expectations, it didn't really shock me all that much. Northern Illinois, who paid $1.4 million who were paid that much money to come to South Bend and be tackle dummies for the number 5 Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Notre Dame a 28.5-point favorite at closing. The Huskies stunned the Irish with a walk-off 16-14 field goal win, the absolute biggest win in Northern Illinois' program history. For sure the biggest upset of the season so far, but Notre Dame, I swear, this is every single year. Every single year. You know, somebody did a study comparing where a team was ranked preseason with where they were ranked at the end of the season, going back about 40 years, and compared the collective differential, plus or minus to figure out who was always, preseason overrated, who was always preseason underrated. Notre Dame was head and shoulders above every other program in terms of the collective fall off over the years. Notre Dame has 38 losses as an AP top 10 team against unranked opponents since the AP poll began. It's not even a close second. This program gets the benefit of its reputation from a century ago more than any other program in the country. Everybody still thinks like Newt Rockne is still around. Coming into every single season, the national media hype up the Irish as national title contenders, and they get the weakest ass schedule imaginable as an FBS independent. They play their traditional rivalry games against Navy, who is rarely anything approaching good. They play Stanford, who had one stretch of being good in the last 30 years when Andrew Luck was there. They play Purdue, who hasn't been a top-tier program since before men walked on the moon. And they play USC, who is always hit or miss. Then they play 3 games every year, rotating in and out against ACC teams who are at the bottom of the barrel in the Power 4. They never face any real competition. And yet they still go down to programs that are ranked much lower than them every single year. That's a problem with the rankings. I don't understand why the people who set preseason expectations don't understand this. They don't have some semblance of pattern recognition, like maybe it's going to happen again this year. It's just freaking mind-blowing. Notre Dame doesn't have a conference to win, so their only hope of getting into the playoffs under this new format was to be one of the 7 at-large teams. That's not happening now. Zero chance with that loss at home on their resume. Notre Dame's season is done. The Colorado Dions once again got smacked around. It was an experience that will never stop being transcendental. Shedeur Sanders was sacked 5 times and went 4 of 14 on third down conversions. Nebraska just bitch slapped these overrated hype machines all up and down both of the field, both sides of the ball. The Buffaloes never had a chance. This is a team that, if it didn't have Travis Hunter, would maybe win 2 games all year. I wouldn't even trust them to win all of their cupcake games. They damn near lost to North Dakota State even with him. If there were 15 more seconds on the clock, they would have lost that game. They have nothing. No run game, no offensive line, no defense to speak of. It's a one-man team and a way for Deion Sanders to set his kids up with NIL deals. That's it. Matt Rule is starting to make a believer out of some skeptics with Nebraska, but let's see what happens when Big Ten Conference play starts. We went 4-3 yesterday and hit on our value pick with Army on the money line for a total of plus 1.24 units. We are 10-7-1 on the week so far, looking to finish it strong in positive territory. And you know what I love about football season? It's almost every day of the week once it really gets started. We have NFL Week 1 Sunday to go over and a full slate of baseball. Let's get to it. And the first game today is the Titans and the Bears. This will have all the hype in the world. Caleb Williams will be making his first NFL start. Will he finally break the decade-long whirlpool of shit that the Bears have been mired in? Well, chances are, if he does, it's not going to be this week. Going back to 1970, quarterbacks selected number one overall are 4-22 straight up and 7-20 against the spread when they're thrown into the team's first game to start without sitting on the bench and learning the NFL style. And it just makes sense when you think about it. The Titans added a whole lot of pieces to their offense in the offseason. Their new head coach, Brian Callahan, picked up Tony Pollard at running back, Calvin Ridley and Tyler Boyd at wide receiver, and most importantly, they addressed the horrific offensive line situation from last year with their number 7 overall pick, J.C. Latham, who's going to be starting at left tackle, and their free agent Lloyd Cushenberry III, who's one of the best centers in the game today. The Titans strike me as a very live dog today. Week 1 dogs that won between 4 and 6 games the year prior are 71-3 against the spread going back to 2005. That's an angle you can't ignore. That's so good. You're getting more than a field goal on the Titans. I really like this play. Take the Titans plus 3.5 points. Over to the Steelers and the Falcons. Could the Steelers be any more injured? Russell Wilson is out with a calf injury, meaning professional disappointment. Justin Fields is going to be getting the nod at quarterback. Nate Herbig and Isaac Seumalo are both ruled out today, meaning real trouble on the offensive line. There's going to be virtually no offense happening, at least at the line of scrimmage today. What else is new with the Steelers? On the Falcons side of the ball, Kirk Cousins will be making a start coming off of a torn Achilles. He's with a whole new team, under a whole new system, with a whole new coach, and he didn't take a single snap in preseason. I do not understand this. I don't understand this trend of just like everybody ironing it out in week 1 now, like treating week 1 like it's a preseason game. He's got the whole situation with Michael Penix Jr. as a distraction. One of his best weapons in Kyle Pitts had injury concerns all week. Falcons are not going to be coming out of the gates 100%. Mistakes are going to be made. There are going to be some sloppiness to start. I do not like this total to get very high today. The Steelers under Mike Tomlin are traditionally an under machine as it is. But with all the extra circumstances today, I feel like I like this game to go under the 41.5 and under by a lot. I'm feeling a 17-13 game here today. Speaking of hype machines, the Sunday night game tonight is going to be another one. We have the Lions entering the season with sky-high expectations for the first time in my 42 years on this earth. The public money poured in on these guys, moving the line from -3 all the way to -4.5. And it's just like everybody's forgetting that there's another team in this game, and that it's a really, really good team with a good coach and really good personnel. Sean McVay is 6-1 against the number in the opening week as the Rams head coach. He covers by an average of 9 points a game. The Rams are going to have everyone on their offense healthy, from Cooper Kupp to Puka to Kyron Williams. When those 3 guys have been in the lineup, the Rams average 6.8 yards per play, far and away the best offense in the NFL over the last 2 years. Everyone's excited about the Lions, and they're betting with their emotions and completely ignoring the historical trends. I say give me the Rams and the nice juicy price of plus 4.5 points tonight. Even if they don't win it, I think they keep it nice and close. Over to baseball, and we are fading a terrible pitcher on the worst team in Major League Baseball history today. Their magic number for breaking the record is 10 games with 29 games to go. They're going to break it. They're going to shatter it. But it's the battle of the Sox this afternoon in Fenway. Chris Flexen on the mound for the White Sox. He's been dog shit. Absolute dog shit. 7.11 ERA and a 2.56 whip his last 5 starts. Anytime you're talking about a pitcher that's approaching 2 in terms of whip, in terms of walks and hits per inning pitched, you're talking about a pitcher that's really struggling. To be that far over 2 for any significant span of time, especially as a 30-year-old veteran, that's a pitcher who should hang it up and find something else to do with the rest of his life. Flexen can rarely get through 4 innings, and the White Sox have one of the worst bullpens in baseball. The Red Sox should naturally have an easy time getting runs across the plate. They have easily handled the White Sox in the first 2 games of the series. I see no reason that shouldn't continue today. Give me Boston on the run line, -1.5 runs. 4th and final play for the day. Everybody bet safe, stay safe. Follow us on X at Live One Sports. Check us out on Roku and Fire TV at the Live Ones. Have yourselves a great Sunday. Enjoy the football, and I will see you soon.